everybody, it's Rexanna with Past and Present Herbs, and I'm coming on this morning because this video that I decided to do today, excuse me, I said I wasn't going to do that and I did it right off the bat. I'm going to be talking about a few herbs, and I did a video last week, and I kept clearing my throat, and I kept going, I sometimes when I'm doing a video, I do realize it, but then I had a viewer that was making a comment about the way I kept clearing my throat, and sometimes my voice is a little raspy. I have asthma. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, it takes me a good hour to clear my throat, my voice. I take a tincture first thing in the morning when I wake up. It's a tincture that I've made for myself. And just the older that I've gotten, I had a really sweet voice when I was younger. And the older I've gotten, I've had my voice checked and everything's clear. It's what's called an asthma cough. And it causes your voice, when you have drainage in the back of your throat, your voice can sound very raspy. And it's unpleasant. And some people that don't understand the whole dynamics behind everything, it can be unpleasant. And I try very hard when I'm making a video not to do the things that I'm doing, but it just happens. And for people that don't really understand, I'm sorry, but it's just something that sometimes I can control it, sometimes I can't control it. And I'm not sorry that I'm sorry for the person that don't understand. For people who have asthma, especially for children, my heart goes out to them. And for the adult, my heart goes out to them, because sometimes you can manage it and get things in control. Sometimes it's an ongoing thing. And I come up with a tincture, my first tincture that I come up with. Of course, as we go through this journey, we learn some herbs that can help us. And things were not really bad for me in the beginning. And as this wonderful world that we live in, things have gotten worse. I thought it was just me at first, but I found out it was the environment that I live in has gotten worse. And so therefore, my whole environment getting worse has caused my body, and the whole situation has gotten worse, me and the environment. It causes your body to develop more issues. So anyway, I'm a person of prayer, so I just dove in and asked the Lord's help. And so I come up with a better tincture, what I think is a better tincture. And this viewer last week was saying, how she was suggesting some herbs might be my friend. And I agreed with her. And so, of course, we want to always include our diet on some of these things, and be mindful of all the things that could help us. But I thought about sharing this tincture because it might not just help others, but you might have a better understanding when you see me in some of these videos. Hey, lady, take some of your own herbs. And I do take some of my own herbs, and I do take other people's advice. I'm always willing to learn. But this tincture, I kind of thought, I've never really shared it with anybody. And sometimes we need to do that. And so the first tincture that I made and it may be just perfect for somebody else. I'll go over the first tincture. It's called Asthma Rescue, and I've shared this with other people, and I really like helping other people. It is Asthma Rescue, and it has mullein in it. Mullein is a great respiratory herb. Mullein goes in and it will not just dry up, because it is also it has the slippery, I don't like to say slimy, because what it does is it moistens the lungs. A lot of people that are wet may not want to use this. They may want to use something drier. But what it does is it helps keeps the lungs, the lung lining, instead of drying you up, but it will help to remove all the snot and the drainage. It'll keep it where it's like, I don't want to say detox, but it does move things in and out. It kind of keeps things flowing and draining, okay? So if you have a lot of mucus in your body, it will keep it going instead of keeping it stagnant. And that's why I do like to use mullein. Mullein in the year of 2020 was the most used herb because everybody was scared of the respiratory stuff that was going around. I used it because I was growing it and using it for my asthma and other respiratory ailments that I had going on. Colds, coughs, flus, you use it for coughing a lot because it will help the lining of all the little, I can't remember what they're called, the polyps and stuff that you have in, and they're not called polyps. I'm seeing them in my mind, but the lining in your lungs, and it keeps things moving. And you want to keep things moving in your lungs. You don't want things to get stagnant or you'll get pneumonia and your respiratory problems. It's a decongestant. It's everything that keeps things going, okay? And I also use it in conjunction with peppermint and with marshmallow. Marshmallow is really good also. It's a decongestant, a demulcent. Demulcents are really good because they keep things flowing and going. They keep, I hate to say wet, but they keep things moist. And they don't dry you up really bad to where you can't breathe and stuff like that. And it's good to drink a lot of water when you're doing marshmallow, when you're doing mullein, and when you're doing peppermint. Peppermint opens your lungs up and makes things taste better too. And marshmallow is just really good. Like if you have achy joints and muscles and you're not really feeling that good, it goes in to really, lubricate things and make things better for you. It's good for your lungs in conjunction with mullein. Mullein, marshmallow, and peppermint are three really great herbs that you can use together to go to work on your lungs. And if you have any kind of arthritis or any kind of aches and pains in your body at this time, it's really good to help with all those kinds of things. Now, another really good herb that I was using a lot and I took out of the equation was echinacea. I took echinacea out because it was not really necessary for somebody who has asthma, because, I was thinking that's more of like an antibiotic, more of a bacterial type thing. So I took that out. And so what I did add was lobelia. Lobelia, I started studying lobelia because I was so afraid of lobelia. I was so afraid of it making me gag and puke and stuff like that. But actually, if you use, you don't have to use a lot of lobelia, but I was so cautious of using lobelia, but I didn't use enough. And so I went back in and added a little bit more lobelia, and it really helps me to breathe. I mean, it really opened me up to where I could just I mean, is so incredible. I felt like this is what made it, possible for me. I mean, I used Mullein and Mullein only for the first year. And I used it as a tea, I used it as a tincture, and I added a little bit of peppermint. And then after a year, I started adding other herbs. The Mullein and the peppermint alone was a fantastic herb. But after I started adding other herbs like lobelia, and just really got out there and really started experimenting and really using some caution. Yes, use caution. Read everything that you can get your hands on. I got to where I was breathing like from here, and I mean from, sometimes you feel like if you could get up to here, oh, you're breathing good. But then when you feel like you can breathe all the way down to your belly button, oh my goodness, you could breathe so good. And it was just amazing how much more I could breathe. Well, lobelia was, I thought, all I needed, right? I mean, it just seriously, lobelia, I was keeping these two full at all times. I mean, I'll probably, when it gets down to about right here, I'll start making a new quart jar for me, because I don't use it in the summer that much. We're now in May 2024, and my worst time that I really use this is around October, November, when it starts to get cold. And I'll use it, I may use this every now and then when it gets really windy in the summer. But if I don't really use it that much, I use it first thing in the morning, but I don't touch it throughout the day at all. And if I'm going somewhere where it's the altitude is different than where I'm at, then I always pack it, because I never know if I'm traveling. I always take it with me. So I may have to use it 3 or 4 times during the day if I'm in a different climate. And I'll tell you what made the game changer for me here in a minute when I finish the recipe. And I'll put the recipe in. I won't give you I'll just tell you the herbs I use. I won't give you the actual recipe, because that's mine. But I will put it in a traveling bag if I'm going hiking, because I need to catch my breath. But anyway, I'll make a new one of these, and this will pretty much carry me through the winter. And my husband has gotten to where he has to use it too. But anyway, that's for me. Every family is going to be different. And, I'm just trying to help somebody. That's why I'm doing this. But toward the last, I would say 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, I found another herb to go in it. Now this is not grown locally in my area that I know of, but I did do some more research. I was like reading in a book about another herb that's an antispasmodic. I know lobelia is an antispasmodic, and I was going through a really hard time, and this actual recipe right here, the mullein, the peppermint leaves, the lobelia, the marshmallow, and I use vodka to tincture all my herbs, most all my herbs. And this one, I had to really, it made a game changer for me. I said, I really feel like I could just make it better. And I was reading in Dr. Christopher's book, and they have different recipes in Dr. Christopher's book, and they were using cramp bark. Cramp bark, I had not really learned about cramp bark that much. I had read some recipes in his book about cramp bark, but this cramp bark, I bought this cramp bark, and I have used 1/3 of it. And this is my second bag only. And this is a 4 ounce. And I used 1 4-ounce in 2 years to tell you how much I've used cramp bark total. And this is a third of a bag gone. And this is my second one. Cramp bark, and oh my God. This is a great, I mean, it's a tree, so this is like, I don't know if you've ever experienced cramp bark or not. If you have, leave me a comment. You don't use that much of the tree, and it's shavings pretty much. So if I can even get into this bag, oh yeah. So these are like shavings. I mean, literally shavings like that. And yeah, so I mean, if you have a cramp bark tree, I'm sure it would be so much better if it was fresh, but I don't have a tree. I grow mullein, I grow peppermint, I grow marshmallow, and I'm learning to do lobelia. Lobelia is an annual, and it has to be lobelia inflata. It can't just be any lobelia. It has to be inflata. So that's kind of hard for me to get around here. I've had to buy the lobelia inflata to get started, and I'm going through strictly medicinals to get my lobelia inflata. So you have to be real careful about what kind of herbs you're going to be growing. You have to know what kind of herbs to grow. So I would say I'm 85% there, but I'm not 100% there. And I don't know about growing a cramp bark tree in this area. I just don't know. But it's so worth trying to get everything just right outside your back door, or if you have a piece of property, it would be so worth it, you know, to me. If it's something that you need, like I need this, to have it all right there. Because I have just dried some mullein, and I will be having that for all year. And I've already got some mullein from the year before that. I've got peppermint, and I've got marshmallow. And I'll be dehydrating more before the end of the summer. So it's really great, you know. So that's part of my recipe right there. And I'll be getting some more lobelia before the end of this summer also. And I think this cramp bark would be pretty good because it doesn't take much. But that has completed my recipe and made such a game changer, because anybody knows right here, right up here, when you are struggling to breathe, you're tightening all these muscles up, all these muscles right in here. That's why they used to give you a cup of coffee, because the coffee and the caffeine in the coffee used to kind of relax things a little bit, somewhat, you know. I never totally understood that, but if you're trying to drink and you're having these muscles tightened up in your throat and in your chest right here, it's kind of hard to get a drink. And it's also kind of hard to take a tincture as well. But when you put a tincture underneath your tongue, it totally relaxes things. Like, it takes, it takes just a few, like, it's getting underneath the tongue, it's getting into the blood vessels, it goes slowly, but it takes like within 3 to 4 minutes. You can take another one, and within 5 minutes, really 2 to 3 minutes, you're feeling it underneath your tongue. And right here, things are starting to relax. Within 5 minutes, things all through here and all through here, you can begin to start breathing. You're starting to, your saliva glands you're starting to, where you can swallow. When you start to swallow, you're breathing. I always instantly get relief, just like that. And you know, it's so important to a person who's struggling to breathe. It's so important to a person. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope you got a ton out of this video, because I know it's not taken me just like 30 days to come up with a recipe. It's taken me a couple of years. Sorry about my dog. Okay, so anyway, like I said, it's taken me years to come up with this complete herbal combination. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you share it with your friends. And if you have any kind of questions, I'll have the recipe down in this show more below this video. You can just tap on show more, and please subscribe to this video. Okay, if you like the content. Okay, thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye for now.